My name's Jack Bark. I am a surfer, paddleboarder, fireman, husband, cat, dog, and chicken dad, and a Florence test pilot.
Best part of the day. I love you have a ring camera so you can watch.
Oh, I love watching. I tune in like 10 times a day. Katie and I will send each other like screenshots like, oh, look at this one's doing this, look at that one. I've won the Molokai to Oahu World Championship twice. I've won multiple gold medals for the U.S. paddle team in the ISA Games. I was part of a world first paddle between Australia and Tasmania, 180 miles. Gotta not smile when I talk.
It gets easier.
All right. My buddy and I paddled 100 miles in under 24 hours from Santa Barbara to Manhattan Beach. I paddled to and around and back from Catalina, 77 miles. I've also paddled to Catalina, run the Catalina Marathon, and paddled home multiple years in a row. Done the Catalina 50-mile run, my own 72-mile ultra in Big Sur, and I've done a paddle to Catalina lunch, paddle back home in the same day multiple times. The brunch and back, we call it. Paddle there, get a beer and a burger, and then paddle home. I mean, I had an amazing upbringing, being born and raised here in Torrance and having the ocean, but then growing up into the paddle culture and where it is now, it's incredible. I mean, my sister and I used to work for Slurpees. We were at the shop, you know. Mom was working, Dad was at the shop working, and like we would be there sweeping, and we get paid in a Slurpee at the end of the day. And so blessed now looking back. Growing up with my dad's friends, I'd go fishing or surfing, or guys would come over and hang in the garage with him, and it was just these like legends of the sport, surfing, paddlers. It was inevitable that I was gonna paddle and surf. Like I had a custom 12-foot board, but it was like an unlimited because I was so small, and it had a rudder on it, and it was like the coolest thing ever. My dad and his buddy, when they were 16 years old, they took lifeguard boards off the lifeguard trucks and paddled their first Catalina channel. And they had glass bottles of Gatorade, you know, they were in their wrestling knee pads, you know, and they had heard about legend watermen doing it, and were like, well, let's go do it. And they made it happen. That was always a cool story, as my dad, you know, 16 years old, just wanting to do it, calling a buddy, getting the paddleboard and doing it. I think one of the earlier memories of really, I guess, deciding I wanted to do this forever, it wasn't one of those early, my first wave feelings, you know. It was probably the first time I crossed the channel. And I realized like, wow, it's a big feat and I can do it. And so it gave me this confidence boost. But now every day I can look across the Catalina and see that I've done that. And that's when I kind of realized like, one, this is cool, it's empowering, and it's like, it's what all my heroes were doing. And that's when I kind of decided like, I want to keep paddling, and I want to try to grow into a waterman. And it was always kind of trying to be like my dad. Seeing him and his friends, and they were surfing, diving, paddling. And so just the way that he just kind of saw stuff he wanted to do and do it, and that's kind of what I strive for.
We did see a hacked up seal right when you guys started the paddle.
2 miles into the paddle, a seal with like half its body was like hanging on by tendrils with bite marks out of it.
Oh, wait, are you kidding?
No,
yeah.
Where? Right 2 miles into the paddle.
Paddling 100 miles sounded super hard, but also I'm like, I've paddled 70, I'm probably gonna do 100, and it was like, let's just do it. I don't know why we're here, but we got 100 miles to get back home. One way to do it, so. Yeah, I think with just embracing the pain and like wanting to do these longer endurance events, I like the fact that you can't escape when you're out there. And I think that like you can go through life like without really being in that uncomfortable state for a long time. I mean, I look back on that 100-mile paddle, and like, I remember getting from 40 to 50 was like, went by so fast, and we got there and we're like, dude, we're halfway, this is insane. And then 50 to 60 felt like, I mean, I don't think White and I talked to each other for like 4 hours. I can barely see him. I don't even know where our escort boat is. And they were just like, it's pitch black.
Yeah, he lost you guys a couple times, like, oh shit.
We can't see it.
I'm gonna get some glow sticks, and then we're gonna change wetsuits.
And it's just like, we just gotta get to this next mile, and then it's like next one. We got to 60, we both were like, dude, that took forever. Like, what happened, you know? And you just like, however you gotta get through that pain, you do it in your own way. And we came back together, and we were talking, and we were happy, and we're like, glad that 10 miles out of the way. Got 40 more to go. I think with a lot of the more endurance stuff, the longer miles, a lot of what's keeping me calm knowing I can do it is just, one is the training, the miles we've put in, and you know, of course there's unknowns when you're going to a distance that you've never paddled. As much as some of this stuff sounds hard and like difficult, you just have to put your mind together and do it. And what I've learned is how capable like we are, and your body can go a lot further than you think.
Coffees, burritos, hoops, 42 miles in, rejuvenated.
I think for me, just the want to finish and not finish, be done with it. And obviously you want to get out of there, but especially if it's not a race, if the 100-mile paddle or going around Collin and back or a big run, if I'm doing that and I'm not in a race, it's like I chose to be there. And so as much as I want to get out of the pain and have it be over, I want to finish it because I want to have that accomplishment. And I don't know if I'll ever paddle 100 miles again, but I would love to do more like adventure paddles of length for sure. I think with paddling, as much as physically you want to be in shape, it's a lot mentally going on, and that's what makes it fun though, the mental side of paddling. I always tell people, like if they're getting into it, I'm like, make sure you go paddle on those like nasty side shore days, because you're gonna enter a race and get in the channel and it's gonna be nasty and side shore, and like you gotta be ready for that because it's the ocean, you know, and you have to be totally prepared for all of it because it changes and it catches you off guard. I think my advice for someone who wants to get out there and go do some longer distances and endurance, finding someone to do it with, because for me, I've loved like having that camaraderie of like when you're going through that pain together, it makes it a little easier. I think a lot of people are held back by that thought of like, well, I gotta get trained up or I gotta be ready and I'm only at this level or this distance. It's like, just go do it and see how you feel. People get scared to start and it holds it back for forever or for a long time, and you just gotta get out there and go do it.